Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the reading of the week. Tarot with Titania for October 22nd to the 29th. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Just invite you to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths here with me. Bring our energies into sync across time and space. Wherever you are, we are together here and now. I invite you to see a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, anchoring you deep into Mother Earth, knowing that that tree root is a powerful anchor that not only is grounding you here and now, but is also transporting anything that no longer serves you easily and effortlessly down into Mother Earth to become compost for new growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I am here with all of those of your children who want to know what we need to know most for the coming week, for our collective highest and greatest good, and our personal greatest good. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information that we most need to receive right now, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily hear, understand, and integrate for our highest and greatest well-being, and the well-being of anyone listening now and in the future. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all those listening to participate and facilitate this exchange to ensure that it happens in the best way possible, and that we cover all that we need to know at this time in the window that we have together. I'd also like to invite the four archangels to come and hold the four directions around all of us, across time and space, enveloping us in a beautiful bubble of light, of healing, of transformation, of love, of all the good that is in our heart, clarity, beauty, all that good. May we all be surrounded by that now and always. Anything that doesn't match those frequencies of light, of love, of clarity, of wisdom, of beauty, of transformation, of healing, of all the good things in our heart is welcome to go now. Okay, let's get going. Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week for our personal and collective greatest good? I know a few of you have reached out and said it's been a difficult week. It kind of comes and goes, doesn't it? It's persistent, though. This time of uncertainty. We're getting through it. Okay. Let's see what the cards have to say this week. Past, present, and future. Ooh, my nose is so itchy this morning. I'm going to kiss a fool, apparently. That's what that means. Okay, let's start with the recent past. No comment about my partner, who's probably the likely person I'm going to kiss, but sorry, I'm so sidetracked today. Let's get started, shall we? The first card is the Judgment card. It's a major arcana. Now, as we know from you being here for all of these readings over time, major arcanas are pay attention cards. They're the things that you need to look at in your flow, in your life, and understand that they're significant and give them some energy. So this is in the position of the recent past, which means it is contributing to where we are now and where we're going to. It's an important indicator. So the card of Judgment, if you look at the card, we have this hand that's reaching up through the dark layers and is reaching for the angel. It's more like it's reaching through the density, the heaviness, to the light. And although the name of the card is Judgment, it actually signifies the energy of discernment. It's about transcending making others wrong and understanding that we are each here having our own experience, and our work is to discern what is appropriate for us. We can't know what's right for anybody else. That's their path, their journey, their work. And we are on the path of our own experience, our own going through life, and then making discernments, choices based on what we experience and how we perceive the world. And there's a lot we can do to change how we're perceiving things. We can reframe our lives. There's a lot we can be proactive about, being more present, being more intentional, being more conscious. Those are all significant and important aspects of this card of discernment. But what we're looking at this week is this understanding of the importance that discernment is playing in our lives personally and when we look at others, and to transcend judgment, making other people wrong for their choices. Understanding that we're each coming from our best. We're each doing our best work at this time, making our best choices, and it's just what we're here to do. And we may not agree with each other's best choices, but it would be helpful if we could be compassionate and kind to each other as we navigate these very strange times and allow others to do what they need to do. And I'm speaking as much to myself as to anybody out there. I've been having a lot of challenges with this one. Great disappointment. And it's okay. It's okay. We are human. It's what we do. We fall down, we get up, and we keep going. So, this energy of discernment, remember, you are the one who knows what you need for your experience. You can't know what needs to happen in anyone else's experience. As a parent, we do our best with our young people, and up to a certain age, we get to be the ones who hold that space for them and make those choices. But at a certain point, they're grown up enough to start making that decision, even if we as adults don't feel that they could possibly understand. And there's a lot of that influence, peer pressure, etc., and that could be very concerning for us. We just have to realize that at a certain point, we can hold them in the light and trust that we've done the best that we can and support them to the best of our ability. Yeah, there's a lot there, isn't there? Okay, let's go to the present card if we could, or it'll be too long. Queen of Wands in the present. This is about the energy of creativity, of generative capacity, of tapping into our feminine aspect of the generative quality. So this is following that creative impulse in a very intuitive and maybe not even non-linear. Like when we have the masculine, it's planned. There's a direction. You follow the direction. Whereas with the queens, the feminine energy, it feels more circular. It feels multi-directional. It's sort of that intuitive flow rather than a planned thing. But this energy of creative generation is really important in our lives right now. We're each creating our lives. So it's very important for us to take responsibility for what we're creating and to be conscious of where our energy and our focus and our attention is going. These have been themes that have been ongoing. That's what it means to be mindful. That's what it means to be conscious. It means that in this moment, right here and now, you're kind of watching yourself. You're observing yourself. And you get to decide if how you're being and what you're saying is really true, or where you're putting your energy and your attention. Is that really where you want it to go? And there's a lot of bits competing for our attention right now. And the sense that I keep getting is that we need to unplug from those external sources. We need to keep coming back to what's important for us. Nobody else can know that. And so our creative generative energy has to go where we feel it needs to go best in order to create our future the way we want it to go. So just in your present energy, the present moment, there's this need to be deliberate and intentional about where you're putting your creative generative energy, staying focused in good ways that bring you to more life and don't diminish your life force. I seem to be developing a frog. I'm so sorry. In fact, there was a frog singing outside my house this morning. Maybe it was a sign. Okay, on to the future card. The Princess of Wands. So this means new beginnings on the level of creative generation, that generative energy. So by being deliberate, by really focusing, we are having strong new starts. And this is not only personally, this is collectively. There are some really interesting and exciting things happening on this planet. We're not able to give them a lot of attention because they're not really being broadcast to us. But when we follow our passion and we are involved in something that brings us to life, we're going to tap into those other people, especially if we allow ourselves to go and connect. We're going to tap into those other people who are doing really interesting and exciting things that enliven us. It's fun for us to be in community with others, whatever that community means to you, whatever is most appropriate for you. Being in community with others around something that brings you to life, that generative energy, is very, very deeply nourishing and healing, and it's really good for us collectively as the planet. But our near future means that we're starting to move in new directions. As we get discerning in our personal lives and we come together with others in the same generative field or focus, new beginnings, new initiations, new starts are starting to happen everywhere. And this is good for humanity. We need to have lots of fresh new starts. And there are fantastic initiatives. There's little bits and pieces that keep plunking into my reality that I find really inspiring and exciting and hopeful for our future. There's not a lot that's hopeful in the common narrative at the moment, I feel anyway. All right, the foundation reading. Why are we having this reading this week? What do we need to know? And we have the card of sorrow. And if you're in this place, I really feel for you. We all have our moments of this intensity, this adversity, this darkness. It is a pretty dark card. There are blue skies in behind. It's always reminding us that the hard times pass too. And so what I want to draw your attention to with this card is that even though there's a lot of adversity, even though there's darkness, in the midst of these dark shapes are little gold hearts. And what this is reminding us is that even in the deepest intensity and adversity and darkest places, there is light, there is gold, there is a gift there, there is goodness for us. That's what we need to be giving our attention to. That mindfulness, that focus, getting into that observer state and saying, okay, yes, this is hard, and I love myself anyway, and I'm getting through this. And what do I need to take away from this? Where is the gold for me? Where is the good? So that I can use this adversity profitably to take myself more fully into more good life for myself, for my relationships, for my community, and for the world. Excuse me. So this is our message this week. We really need to stay focused. This is why we're having the reading. No matter how dark it feels, no matter how intense the adversity, please seek the light. There's an expression that where your attention goes is where energy flows. And that's this generative capacity, right? Where we are human beings with an incredible generative capacity. We're here in these human bodies, and our attention, our focus, our will, wherever we're putting that is what we're giving our energy to. What are you feeding with your attention? What are you feeding with your focus and your energy? Even in the midst of adversity, you can feed the downward spiral or you can feed the light. You can choose where you're putting your attention and your energy and drive your life in the direction that you want it to go in, rather than simply falling in the hole and wallowing, which is okay if you're there. I don't want to make you wrong, but I do want to remind you that you are incredibly capable as a generator on this planet, as a creative person on this planet, as somebody who is spirit embodied. You can take any adversity and use the contrast of that to propel your life forward in a direction that is more to your liking, that is your preference. Redirect your focus and your energy. Look for the good. That's our important message this week. And be mindful about where we're putting our energy. What are we creating personally and collectively? We need good news. We need more beauty. We need wonderful solutions. And we may not have it for the whole planet, and that's fine. Make your life a little bit more beautiful. Make your life a little bit more comfortable. And if there's somebody around you that you can inspire or support, do that. I'm not talking about draining yourself here. I'm talking about smiling, saying something affirming, just intending to be a source of light and beauty and upliftment on the planet at this time. We can all use it. We can all use it. By helping each other, we raise ourselves up. And that's a beautiful thing. That's the remarkable thing about that energy of generosity, is as much as we're giving to another, we give back to ourselves. So this energy, this is what we're sitting in this week. We have to transcend the judgment and making wrong and reach for our own understanding of what's most appropriate for us, and trust that others are doing the same thing for them. And if they're not, that's their journey. Their choices will lead to experiences that they will have. They will adjust and adapt, and they will refine their lives as a result of it. That's what this card is always telling us. Contrast is always there to help us refine and to move our lives more powerfully forward. We do tend to fall in the hole around it sometimes and just wallow in it for a while. And as I said, that's okay. You just don't want to stay there. You want to keep moving. And this generative energy is really important. Find what lights you up and put your energy there. That's really important. It's nourishing for you, for your spirit. It's nourishing for those around you, that you're in a more positive, resilient space and excited about something. And it's good for us collectively, because we need this generative energy to propel us into beautiful new futures of even more life-giving energy, more life. So I think that's pretty clear. Let's tuck these in and just pull our card to grow on for the week. All right, Creator. What do we need to know? What do we need to know for this week, Creator? For our highest and greatest good, to be the best that we can be, to navigate whatever challenges and adversity we are facing. What do we each need to know? I'm putting you back in, Empress. See if you come up again. Okay. Our card to grow on is the King of Hearts. So this is taking responsibility for ourselves emotionally, being the boss of ourselves, being the boss of who we are. Being that conscious observer, and recognizing that we need to be deliberate and intentional about how we're feeling. So it's okay to have feelings. We don't have to squelch the feelings, but we do need to be intentional about what we're doing with them. So when you're having a hard time emotionally, maybe take yourself out for a walk in nature. Let that cloud move across your sky. Whatever that is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're going through is perfect. We're releasing a lot collectively through each of us personally. There is a lot of emotion, continues to be a lot of emotion. There's just that general wave of uncertainty and doubt and fear that continues to fill the collective field. But we need to be personally responsible. We need to be deliberate and mature and intentional about how we're having our feelings and where we're putting our attention and our energy and our focus. Again, this idea that wallowing isn't serving us right now. What we need to do is be deliberate about what the distinction, looking at what this contrast is bringing us. And being an adult, being the boss of you, and redirecting your attention and your energy in good ways. By all means, have the feelings, take good care of yourself. I recommend movement, some kind of movement to help your body work the feeling through. It's so helpful. It's better than staying stuck, sitting someplace and stagnant. It's really helpful to circulate the energy of the body, because we feel through the body, and when we move, we help it to go more swiftly. I think that makes a lot of sense. And I hope you find it to be too, but that's the image that's very strong, is this idea of movement, especially getting out in nature. Go hug a tree. Like, seriously, go connect to nature in some way. Even if you're going into winter, wherever you are, go connect with a tree. Go say hi to the tree and just be with the tree for a while. I know that's going to sound really strange to some of you, but I know some of you will also understand that they are connected to us. They are deeply rooted. There's a way to share with the tree what is going on with you and allow it to help you flush the energy through more quickly as well. And the trees, if you ask for permission, I'm really getting weird today. They will help you. They are, as our First Nations brothers and sisters talk about, they are part of our family. And we are there for each other. But we do have to ask for permission. And how do you do that? Let's go all the way. So you approach a tree and you say, hello, tree. I have a tree. I have a favorite tree, a tree that I hang out with. And I go and I place my hands on the tree respectfully after I've said hello. And I just ask if it's okay for me to be there. And if I have something that I need to move through, I just ask if I can give it to the tree, if it will help me to move it through and out. And then I just rest my hands on the tree. I might rest my forehead on the tree. I've often leaned against the tree, and I'm just with the tree for a while. And I like to look at the tree. I like to look up into the branches and see the beauty of the tree and just notice the tree. And the beauty often shifts us alone. But I've found in my experience of doing this is that I'm always more peaceful after. I'm just that much more resilient, just that much more grounded. And then when I'm done, I thank the tree. I've hugged it. You can do that if you feel like it. If you feel it's icky, you could just touch the tree, but expressing your appreciation to the tree for its help, for being there for you. And as I said, you may have a tree that you have a special relationship with, a tree that you've been attracted to, that you're connected to. That may be your tree, your relationship tree that you can go and connect with and work these things out with. I hope this wasn't too weird. I hope it was really helpful. I wish you lots and lots of love wherever you are on the earth plane. We're all here. We're all navigating different things, but we're all in the same soup. We're all navigating this strange time of change. So be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Get out there and move and hug your tree. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week. Lots of love. I should have done this sooner. Bye for now.